YouTube. It's going live. There it is. I am live on YouTube. So if you on your end in TikTok are having trouble finding me, or I mean, not finding me, but it's very discombobulating to try over and over again to go on TikTok, and I'm just not able to be there. So anyway, here I am on YouTube, and welcome everyone. I hope that let me just write in the chat so we can get that going. Um, okay, yes. So we will, there we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I am sitting on the floor, and because I have um, a little bit larger art project that I want to share with you today. I want to share the theme, and it's early, and nobody knows that I'm really jumping on here. So, but if you are out there, I would love it if you said good morning. Let me know you're there, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I am drinking hazelnut New England coffee. Thank you for being with me. It is super hot today, really muggy, and just that kind of a day. So I actually do have the fan on. Hopefully, it's not disrupting my voice. Now, because we are in a community here, we do have windows open because it is hot. So if you hear something or someone in the background, those are neighbors in the community. So with that, I wanted to say, so for those of you who are new to the channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. We encourage, as a little community here, to work with recycled fabrics because the landfills are overwhelmed with um, garbage. Let's put it that way. We've got the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is there's 5 gyres of it, and um, just hundreds of miles of garbage actually floating in the ocean. And there's so many reasons, right? So you kind of like pick one and you try to go with it. And that's what we do on the channel. We talk about slow fashion. We'll talk about fast fashion. We're talking about the polar bears and some artwork representing the polar bear. So that's why I'm prefacing this with all of this artwork with the reason that we're doing the channel, because this particular artwork is for an exhibit titled Trails and Paths. So I decided to take the path of the polar bear. So I'm going to put this down here so you can see. So first I'm going to show you the polar bear. Okay. So this is the polar bear, and you see the different patches here. These are actually sewn on. I sewed them on piece by piece with visible stitching or sashiko stitching to create a Boro Inspired Polar Bear. That's what this is. And so the patches are different all around. They represent the changes that the polar bear is going through. And they're very difficult changes. They're not easy. Some of these polar bears are simply not making it. So with that, I made the polar bear, and I made the baby polar bear. Now I put purple bow on. I'm trying to hold this so you can both see. Um, I put purple on the polar bear because it represents, in a lot of ways, it will represent some sadness, some mourning. It will represent that. And that is kind of what's going on. We are losing polar bears in the Arctic. Okay, the Arctic polar bears, there's also other animals there. There's Arctic seals, there's Arctic owls, there's Arctic hares, the bunny rabbits. So I also made a seal. So you can see the seal there. And so I'm going to try to turn the cameras so you can see this piece of artwork. Okay. So for YouTube, here we go. You can see this. I'm going to turn it like this. Um, and for TikTok, I'll turn it like that. So I have it on a frame for the moment, but this is in my mind, this me as an artist. Okay, I'm being creative and I am telling a story as best that I can here. Okay, here you see the Arctic. I don't know if you can see that this is the icebergs. This is an iceberg here, and this is an Arctic seal. Okay, we have another iceberg over here. It's really hard to see this, I know, on the camera. And I'm really not able to get it too much closer because it's large, it goes out of view. Okay, so there. Now, the path of the polar bear. So the polar bear is going to be standing here on its path. I don't know if I can position it really well like this right now. But there it is. And the baby polar bear is going to be like right in between the mom like that. And then this string of just representing water, and the needle felted balls represent the organic fabrics and the natural life that we have on Earth here. This is the mandala that represents life. And, if you meditate with a mandala, you can really get some insight and get in touch with your inner feelings, which I believe we all need to do, right, for humanity. So I put this on the polar bear like that because a, if I did um, a blanket, a saddle blanket to put on the polar bear, it would cover up all the patches. So maybe this is an idea. I don't know if I can hold this up, but this tree, okay, I guess you can see the tree pretty good. Yeah, I think I can hold. Polar bear hopefully stands. Okay. Oh, this is good. So the tree, you see the tree? That is made of wire, fabrics, and I just handmade it, put some little beads, used some other, I was collecting different wires for a project for another polar bear I'm going to do, and hoping to get into another exhibit. But even if I don't get in it, we're doing that polar bear. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, look at the very end. You see, at the very, very end, you see the ball that is representing Earth. Okay, and on top of it, so I'm going to put this down a little bit. So on top of it is the is a dragonfly. This is a dragonfly I made of beads and wire. So I just made, and there's little shells over here. So when I bring this over to the exhibit, what I'm hoping to do is to take some close-up. I'll take some close-up pictures of the project and of the tree and the earth and the shells and and of course the beautiful polar bears that I made. Now, some people are saying, "Hey, what? That's a seal. We'll put him over there." some people are saying, hey, Carmella, I want to know how to do needle felting. I want to get going on it. And, can you do a video showing us how to needle felt from the beginning? So I certainly can do that. Now, and I'm going to do that. We're going to do that this week. Now, it's going to be later in the week. I would say it's going to be probably Thursday. So we'll give this a day because I wanted to share with everyone how creative you can get with your needle felting. So this is a soft sculpture of a polar bear with the baby polar bear. Oh, well, hi, there you are. So I am seeing people now on TikTok. So that took a little while for me to even see anyone. So now with that, if you bear with me, um, because I have already explained on YouTube, we went through this beautiful, beautiful theme of the polar bear. So anyway, actually we didn't. We need to finish the ice that you see here. Okay. This is the turn this for TikTok. So there's icebergs here that I created. This is with glass and painted. And this is bark that I use. So this is a path, okay, where the polar bear is typically here in its habitat, okay, on the ice. It's typically here. The path is going here. You see where the tree, and then you see the representation of the earth. This is where it's going. It's going from the ice and the snow to the blue and the green. Everything's melting, and there are no trees in the Arctic, but here is a tree with blooms on it. Of course, there's scrap fabrics representing the humble the humbleness of wildlife depending on its natural resources. So that's why I made this of bark and to emphasize the theme of trails or paths, the path of the polar bear. That's why it has patches all on it. I'll hold this up again because now I'm seeing people in TikTok. Let me put this up here. I want this up here. I'm just going to take that off for a minute. The reason I didn't make this as a blanket is I don't want to cover up patches. So many of you are familiar with my polar bears. There are no patches on them typically, but I had to put patches on this polar bear because that's what's happening. It is becoming distorted in its own habitat. Uh, we'll do more research on it and do a documentary, but it's very sad. So this was my way of stimulating awareness without going to in an artistic way that the polar bear, yes, is being very affected. Some of them are not making it. So the baby polar bear having the purple ribbon on it is a sign of sadness. It's a sign of when these polar bears don't make it. It's um, telling us there's some mourning going on that we need to be aware of in this aspect of life. Now this I had made this originally as I wanted this to be a necklace on the bear. This is slippery for the bear, so but I decided to put it like this on the bear because I love the effect. I love it. This allows the patches to show, and again, it represents, in my view anyway, the different aspects of our earth and that's where you see the colors, the blue for water, and you see the earth tones all the way through. And yes, I think when you joined, we were talking a little bit about the mandala as a way to meditate. So that's what this piece is. The bear is standing on a path, and you can't really see this good, which is too bad because it's a pretty good piece. And but I'll have to take pictures of it. But I built it out of bark that had fallen from the trees. There's absolutely nothing in this piece of artwork that was taken from nature or disrupted in nature, okay? Because this is talking about nature. This is talking about preserving. Because if we don't, this tree right here, made of wires and whatnot, this is where we're going. This is what's gonna, you're gonna see barren trees. Now, the polar bear, so you see the barren tree right here, no leaves on it. Um, so, and here's a seal again, the Arctic seals, the Arctic hares, the Arctic owls. Um, there's many Arctic animals that are going to be affected. They are being affected as these icebergs melt. And you see how they're smaller. I was concerned first that they were smaller than the polar bear. And a friend of mine pointed out, well, they're melting. They are melting. So metaphorically, and I just left them because they are melting. And so you see what turns this way. Back here, this is an iceberg. This is glass that I use, and I can go over all the technical ways and how I built this. But basically, it's all scrap fabrics. It's organic wool. It's scrap bark. Now, you saw me on the TikTok video where I was cleaning the bark and I was talking to you about a WIP or work in progress. Um, it was going to be part of a fiber um, structure or art installation piece. That's what this is. And so then one of the TikTokers said, "Hey, Carmella, there are people using the bark to create pictures. They're creating artwork in that way." So I thought that was a really super interesting, and I love that idea. And I thank you for sharing that with me. And I'm going to look into that a little further because when I was talking about it, I was talking primarily about my needle felting, which yes, we will be doing a whole video and I've got over 600 videos over on YouTube, right? On Echo Art with Carmella-T. Many of those videos are showing you how to needle felt. However, they're buried, they're way back there. They're hundreds of videos ago. I'm going to do another video because one of my YouTubers said, asked for it specifically. So we'll do that this week. I will show you how I needle felt. I am not going to begin or advise even to start with flat needle felting. I'm not going to advise it because I don't like it. Um, I don't like it because it doesn't hook in the way you need when you're doing a 3D sculpture. So I want to start you off right off that way, and we'll do that together. So anyway, I wanted to get on here and share this, and I haven't been live on YouTube for quite some time. If you have any questions, you're out there, you want to say hello, I'd love to hear from you. And on TikTok, I'm glad I finally got on. I could not get on TikTok. So maybe this is a beginning. Because I was jumping on TikTok live, no problem. Um, Absolutely no problem. But anyway, I'm really super excited about this project, and this will be in the exhibit tomorrow. The only way I think I can show you where you can get a real good appreciation of all of the detail and everything I did here um, is to take snapshots of it. So I will do that tomorrow. But the message I'm giving here, all in all, in this exhibit titled Trails and Paths. It's going to be at the Jericho, where I do other shows. I've done other shows in here in Vermont, in Jericho, Vermont. Is the path of the polar bear is changing, and we as humans humanely can help curve it. We can help curve it with by recycling. That's the number one way. Now I am losing this on YouTube, so I'm just going to speed this up a little. We can recycle, we can use LED lights, and we can use renewable energy. So with that, before this gets too distorted on YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you so much for being with me, and have a beautiful